Hello, no, I actually haven't changed out our Miss World Tony Ann's picture with Karolina yet. I just haven't had the time. I haven't been able to find any good pictures where she's actually looking at the camera. So I'm waiting for all of the official photographers who were there to release their pictures, at which time I will make one of these and replace this one. But for the next 2 or 3 videos you will be stuck with this, so don't let it bother you. I know there's a new Miss World and I'm going to be changing it soon. So it's been some time now since Miss World 2021 has taken place, and we've all had time to reflect and just sleep on it and just work through our feelings. Now, I will stand by what I said earlier. Miss World will forever live in infamy for their inability to adapt to the coronavirus pandemic. Famously, of course, cancelling their final show mere hours before it was due to happen on the 16th of December 2021, and just not having a pageant at all in 2020. Adding to Miss World 2021's bad luck was the controversy, of course, involving Stephanie Delval, who was Miss World 2016, and her company Reignite. Reignite, of course, was supposed to be taking responsibility for the hosting of Miss World by Puerto Rico this year, but unfortunately, Stephanie and her company Reignite got into a bit of hot water when she was accused of mismanaging funds. Yes, of course, after it became apparent that Reignite, Stephanie's company, was allegedly ill-equipped and ill-staffed to host such a momentous pageant, the responsibility of Miss World 2021 was basically transferred to another Puerto Rico company, Puerto Rico with a Purpose. And Stephanie apparently didn't transfer all of the funds that was given to her by the local government and sponsors and things like that to the new company who was supposed to be taking the responsibility to host Miss World, and it's a whole thing, and the new company actually has sued Stephanie, and that just cast a long black shadow on Miss World 2021 as well. If you're like me, a major pageant fan, and you've been watching the behind the scenes thing. If you're not as obsessed as I am, you maybe didn't even know about this. But yes, for a while, a lot of people, including myself, thought that Miss World 2021 might be cancelled not once but twice because of this issue. All of this, of course, has contributed to the infamous status of Miss World 2021. And a lot of people actually argue that Miss World had 2 whole years to prepare the most amazing, spectacular 70th edition of Miss World. I mean, it is the 70th edition. Miss World started in 1951, and Miss World 2021 was supposed to be the most incredible edition of Miss World for a long time, and unfortunately they under-delivered, in my opinion. Instead of this spectacular extravaganza that we all expected, we ended up with a pageant that felt low cost, low budget, and very much rushed. Now, I'm not blaming Puerto Rico at all. Puerto Rico has been an incredible host so far for Miss World. I just wish that the actual Miss World organization had taken more care to ensure that the final show was going to be absolutely spectacular and blow us all away. But like I said, to me it just felt like they under-delivered. And it also put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths that there was no international stream available for people to access all over the world. I mean, I myself had to scour the internet to find a good stream, and I couldn't even find a good quality stream at the end of the day. A lot of people had to rely on these low quality streams by just average civilians, while the Miss World organization used to have a feature on their website where you could pay $5 to stream the pageant live. And I went onto the Miss World website, but this hasn't been updated since December 16, 2021. So they wanted to have the stream for everyone back when the show was supposed to happen in December, but I don't know what made them change their mind and not make the stream available this time around. It was very disappointing, to say the least. The civilian streams came in and out the whole time. If you watched my reaction video, then you would know I was having a headache by the end of it, because it was just, I missed top 5 announcements. I missed when the Philippines was speaking. I almost missed the crowning, but thank goodness I found someone who was actually there at the arena streaming live. But yeah, you guys know, it was just, it just was a no from me. So the pageant was basically only available in a select few countries with which Miss World, I assume, have TV partnerships and things like that. But they could have literally streamed the show live on their YouTube channel and just blocked that stream in the countries where they do have TV partners. This is exactly what Miss Universe did in 2021. They streamed the show live on their YouTube and they blocked it in countries where they had official network partners. It's really not that hard, and Miss World could have still made a lot of money from this, but instead all of the money went to these, civilians who were streaming the show. And I mean, thank goodness they were streaming the show, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to watch live. But I feel like they had a huge missed opportunity, and this just goes to show once again that Miss World is sort of behind on the times, like in every aspect. One critique that I also kept seeing is that the show felt outdated and old, and I must agree. No contestants, I feel like not one singular contestant truly got a moment. You know what I mean? If you're a true pageant fan and you watch Miss Universe a lot, the girls have moments when they're walking in their evening gowns. They just have a moment, okay? And at Miss World, I didn't see anyone have a moment. I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And even with the intros, like, they started and stopped a new song with each and every single contestant. There were 40. Do you have any idea how disorientating that is? I still stand by what I said. I know what they were going for with the new song with each contestant, but it just didn't work for television. It was very disorientating, and I think it contributed heavily to the fact that we couldn't concentrate on every contestant as an individual. The stage was dark and gloomy. The orchestra took up like 90% of the stage for the whole show, well, about the whole show, and just distracted from the contestants in general. There were timing issues between the hosts and the music, and the camera angles felt off. And don't even get me started on how much time they wasted. I mean, in my reaction video, I timed it. It was literally an hour and a half before top 40 even went to top 30. Like, it's an hour and a half and nothing happened. The pageant could have at least been an hour shorter, but no, we always have to rewatch fast track events. It's really not necessary to talk about the fast track events after top 40 at finals. Literally, the committed pageant fans already know who won fast track. We all watched fast track as soon as it happened. We all know what happened. And the other people who are watching, who are not dedicated fans, don't care about fast track. They're just there to see who's going to win and who's going to place where. It's so unnecessary, in my opinion, to be talking about fast track beyond top 40 at the finals. And you know what? It's not that I don't want the girls who won fast track and who did well at fast track to be recognized. I think that they do deserve that recognition, but make it quick. Make it like a 20-minute thing, not an hour and a half thing. You don't have to show all of the footage. You can be like, and here are our fast track finalists, and not show the entire montage of what happened. Just bring out the finalist and say what she won. I don't understand why they waste so much time. Like, why? Nobody cares. Just say who won and be done with it. By the time finals run around, the playing field should be level. It should be even. The poor people who bought tickets to this thing had to sit through like 2 hours of video and had only 1 hour of pageant, basically. And this is a personal pet peeve of mine, but they had the girls wearing black on stage. Now, I don't know if they were mourning good pageantry or what, but yeah. Also, I feel like the entire pageant just wasn't worthy of the incredible women who was competing in it. And speaking of these incredible women, let's talk about the top 13 and the top 6. And apparently there was a tie between Cote d'Ivoire and Indonesia, which is fine, but I just feel like that's so unlikely to happen. I mean, this is something that I would expect from Miss Grand International, a tie, I mean, but from Miss World, it's really unexpected. Anyway, I think the thing that shocked most people the most about the top 13 was the omission of South Africa's Shudufadzu Musida from the top 13. Of course, this is what shocked me the most personally, and also the fact that Venezuela ended up not making it, which was also a surprise. And I see plenty of rumors that the strongest speakers were omitted from the top 6 in order to orchestrate some sort of win, but I feel like United States, Cote d'Ivoire and Poland were all strong speakers. I mean, you can see in my reaction video where I react to their little Q&As. I think that all 3 of them were strong speakers, so I don't really know about that theory. By the way, I don't really have any sort of issue with Poland winning. In fact, I'm quite apathetic to the fact that she won. I mean, she's beautiful, she's graceful, she's a good speaker, she's philanthropic. She'll do just as good a job as anybody else would have done, in my opinion. There were other women who would have done an equally great job, who were bigger favorites of mine, but I mean, it was Poland's destiny to win. She did win, and there's nothing any of us can do about it, so all we can do is stand by her and cheer her on while she does the good work that Miss World stands for. Now, although my opinion is that Poland obviously deserved to win, as would be the case for many other women who competed at Miss World this year, I do see a lot of people saying that Poland only won because of the current Ukrainian crisis, you know, the war between Russia and Ukraine at the moment, because Poland is one of the biggest supporters of Ukrainian refugees at the moment. That is something that's being said. Many people are accusing Poland's win of being a political decision by the Miss World organization so that they can get some boots on the ground in Poland and maybe help some people out and place themselves on the right side of history. Miss World is always going to do amazing things when it comes to philanthropy, and I think that that is the biggest charm of Miss World and why Miss World is still thriving in a sense. So even if the rumors are true and it was sort of a political decision, I do think that, you know what can you do? And if they're going to do good work, then I don't have anything to say about that. Now, with that being said, some countries do place very high emphasis on their contestants' placement in a pageant. So it's not necessarily about winning. Like for South Africans, for example, it's not necessarily about winning. It's about seeing how far we can get. And I would have loved to see Shudufadzu in the top 6. And And I think that she did deserve top 6 at the end of the day, but we will never truly know how she would have performed in that Q&A, although I do think that she would have done very well if given the opportunity. But with that said, I do really think that the Miss World organization needs to rethink the structure of their pageant, because it was unpardonably boring. To finish off this video, let's talk a little bit about the new Miss World. So Karolina is 22 years old right now. She's actually turning 23 on the 11th of April, which is also my baby sister's birthday. She became Miss Poland 2019 when she was only 20, and her advocacy is very much focused on helping homeless people and providing necessities for them. And I think that this advocacy in particular makes her a very useful person to know, given the current refugee crisis in Poland. She also has a bachelor's degree in management and is currently studying for her master's. Now, just to end off this video, for those of you who made it all the way through, I know that some of you want me to talk about the video that came out yesterday of Miss Cameroon apparently mocking South Africa, but the thing is, the video is in French, and not only that, it's like in a Cameroonian French accent, and every single French person who I've said the video to have said that it's very difficult to understand, you know, different French accents. You know, in English there are different accents that might be difficult to understand. For example, Scottish people, when they speak English very fast, it's almost impossible to understand. So I understand this, but they did say that it does definitely sound like somebody is being insulted. I'm not going to really speak on that because my own French is limited to bonjour, bonsoir, and omelette du fromage. So you guys can go check out the video. I don't know exactly where it's available because the person who originally posted have deleted it. But yeah, I do know that a lot of people saw that, and some of you DM'd me and asked me to talk about it. But I'm not going to speak on something if I don't understand the language which is being said in, and even French speaking people are saying that they can't really exactly make out what is being said. So I'm just going to leave that alone until some more information comes out. But thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
The most important was to try to push through.
Avec sa grosse tête là, donc il croit que chaque jour ils doivent gagner. Mais son gros con.
It's not about falling.